Hi, I'm Rebecca Harris, and welcome to this edition of Senior Moments. You know, on Senior Moments, we have a lot of topics where we're getting information about decisions that we need to make as we get older. And sometimes these decisions are very, very hard, and sometimes we need experts to talk to us about it and give us a little more information and also put us at ease about our decisions. And sometimes the decision is not about us. We are caregivers and we're making decisions for other people in our families. So today we are at Brunch and Learn, which is a monthly program that is usually at the Central Activity Center, and it's hosted by Miss Pat Harrell. But Miss Pat is on a tour with some of the senior citizens from Central Activity Center. And the Central Activity Center is being renovated right now, which we're very excited about. So the Phoenix City Library has been hosting Brunch and Learn, and today we've had quite a good turnout for a very wonderful topic, which is about choices about where we're going to be living in our future. So today we have Melissa Ryland here, and she's with us from the Morningside of Columbus Assisted Living Facility, and she's the executive director, and we're very, very pleased to have her here with us today. Melissa, can you tell me, please, a little bit about what got you into this field?
Originally, I'm a nurse, so I've always had a passion for caring for people. I have elderly grandparents myself, so when I first entered the community, when I was job searching as a nurse, I was like, this is it. And they called me that night. Oh. And I guess my enthusiasm showed. I've always had a passion for seniors. There's so much wisdom and love. I always tell my daughter that she has 42 grandparents. So it is just my love of people and caring for the seniors in our population. They have so much to give us.
So it takes very special people to take care of children and senior citizens, and so I want to thank you. It seems like a real calling for you, and I know you're very, very passionate about it. And from what I understand, you've been there for 18 years?
Yes, ma'am. Started right out of school and was the nurse on property. I've been the executive director now for 13 years. Mm-hmm. It is definitely a calling. I feel that I was given an opportunity that I never thought and never imagined. So I am very thankful that God has put me where I am today.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, we're going to join Melissa as she gives us the information that we need to help us make these decisions. And if you didn't make it today for her speech, then it's also going to be on YouTube. And you can pass that along to your family and friends, or you can go and visit Melissa at Morningside and find out more details about it. So I'm excited about hearing what you have to say, so y'all come along and join us.
So that is definitely a benefit, because we're talking about if you or your spouse served in the military during a wartime period, you can be eligible for up to $2,000 a month pension for aid and attendance. So that will help you pay for at least over half of your assisted living stay. So it is a great benefit that everybody, I encourage, if you have a way to get it. Like I said, you only had to serve one day during a wartime period. A lot of people who, I'm getting a lot more Persian Gulf now. I got quite a few Korea and Vietnam. Still have some of my 90-plus-year-olds who served in World War II. So this being kind of a military area, we have a lot of veterans and their spouses here. So I definitely recommend that, because assisted living, when we think about it, sounds really expensive. You're looking at about $100 a day. So, you know, that can be, but when you weigh your options and you look at, are you paying for somebody to come into your house? Are you paying a lawn man? Are you paying somebody to do your housekeeping? If you really break it down, $100 a day isn't that much. So, and it's worth it that you get your own apartment. You've got planned activities if you want to be involved in them. You can do what you want, when you want. There's no restrictions. It's not like a nursing home where you're only allowed to leave for a few days. I have residents who go on cruises with their families. I have residents who go to Biloxi for the weekend. We have planned trips. We like to go to Wetumpka and go to the casino and go to the buffet. So it's whatever we want to make your life active. We have a program called Lifestyle 360, which is all about making sure you've got the whole range of things to do in your life, that you really are meeting. You're getting your social, you're getting your emotional, you're getting your physical, your intellectual, your spiritual. All those needs are being met. Because sometimes when you're at home by yourself, it feels like something's missing. You know, maybe you can't get to church anymore. Maybe, you know, your group, everybody's gotten older and they just don't get together like they used to. So that's the good thing about going to a senior living property, is that you can get those things back in your life. Getting old doesn't mean stopping. It just means finding new ways to get it done. So that's something that I really take pride in with Morningside, is I wouldn't have been there 18 years if I wasn't proud of what we do. We have 42 apartments, so we're really kind of small, what you would consider small. One level, no stairs, no elevators, all on one level. We've got the best food. I always say that Morningside is the reason I'm fat. So 18 years of home cooking, and we have a southern menu, so I'm like eating fried chicken all the time. And like the best macaroni and cheese you've ever had. So it's something that if you ever would consider it as an option, don't think of it as being put somewhere. We don't put people anywhere. It's somewhere to live. I mean, it's part of our tagline, and I'm proud of it. Morningside is a place for living. So it really is important that as seniors, we still have to get involved and be part of the community. There's so much that you can do. Volunteerism, you know, there's so many things that you can really tap into if you're not isolated. So I just want everybody to think that when it comes time when you can't live by yourself anymore, or you're not eating like you should, you're eating a bunch of microwave food that's full of sodium and your blood pressure's going up, or you're having some falls at the house, you have different things going on, don't be afraid of change. That's part of getting older. We have to be resilient. So just be welcome to the idea. You're still independent, you still got an apartment, you just got food and stuff to do, and you know, don't give up. We never give up. And I see a lot of women in here. I have 42 apartments. I have 10 gentlemen, which is a really high population. You know, a lot of my guys, you know, think, oh, I don't want to, I'm going to stay here until they're just going to bury me in my house. But guess what? You guys have fun too. We have a men's group. Last night we got together and watched the All-Star game. We had peanuts and Cracker Jacks and Coca-Cola and everything sitting out for everybody who wants it. They talked about who their players were, talked about the home run derby that was the night before. It's just, you forget how much socialization you're really missing sometimes. So I want everybody to really think about it and not be so afraid, you know, because there's nothing to be afraid of. Nothing really changes. It actually gets better. So if you have any questions, you can call me anytime. I'm always there, it seems. It's Morningside of Columbus, and it's 706-561-5560. And like I said, I do have a sister property in Auburn. Her name is Becky, and she also does basically the same thing we do. Have a lot of fun, but here at Morningside of Columbus, we really have a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I wouldn't be there. So, any questions of me?
What's that phone number again?
706-561-5560. Yes.
What's your occupancy rate?
Right now I am 98% occupied, which means I have one room open. I've actually got 2 tours later this afternoon. I stay pretty full. There's not a waiting period per se. It depends on our occupancy. So, you know, if we don't have an occupancy, I usually get about 1 room a month. So sometimes it could be a month or 2. You can get the paperwork completed for assisted living by your doctor, usually 24 to 48 hours. Yes?
Is this rooms or apartments?
They are small apartments. They don't have a full kitchen, they have a kitchenette. So you have a living room, a bedroom, private bath, and a kitchenette. So they're about 400, 450 square feet because we really find that you don't need as much. Most of your falls occur going from bedroom to bathroom or going from the kitchen to somewhere else. It makes it more condensed, so it's easier to get from A to B. So they aren't big, but they're big enough.
What do you have to have as far as paperwork to qualify you to move in? Who says you're able to move there? Who says you're not?
You don't really have to have any qualification. Your doctor fills out paperwork saying that you don't have a communicable disease and that you don't require skilled nursing care. Skilled nursing care is, you know, if you have feeding tubes and all that kind of stuff, that requires a nurse 24 hours a day. But if you just need help with maybe bathing, dressing, grooming, don't drive anymore, you need transportation assistance, that's more what we do. And that's what most of the senior population really needs, is just a little hands-on care. You don't really need a nurse to come do things for you. So we have 24-hour nursing assistants. We have 2 nurses on staff. But the paperwork is very easy to complete. Just the doctor says that he thinks you're appropriate. Yes.
I got 2 questions.
Sure.
You allow pets,
We do. We are pet friendly.
and the other one is you have on-site security. If not, is there a crime? What's the crime rate?
The crime rate in the area is not. We really don't have it. We're on the north side of Columbus, over by Shaw High School. We are a locked community as far as nobody can enter from the outside. You have access to the outside when you're ready, and we're staffed 24 hours a day. So there is always at least 2 staff members on site 24 hours a day. So
Now, about that pet friendly, does that require an deposit?
we do require a $750 pet deposit. We have, and dogs, we really prefer them to not be over 25 pounds. So right now, I think all we have are 2 cats on site. We have 2 residents who have feline children. Yes, yes. Most of our residents are very independent. As you know, unless there has been an issue where you might get confused or lost or something like that, then we recommend that you wear a bracelet that says, you know, where you live, that type of thing. But you're free to go. It is your apartment. We have a Publix across the street. We have shopping trips we go on. So as long as we know you're leaving and planning on returning, and give us kind of a time, you know, time frame. I'll be back at 2 o'clock. You know, yep. Yes. Yes, you keep your own doctors. We provide transportation to your doctor's appointments too if you're no longer driving.
And you have specific hours when you tour the site?
I'm generally there Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. So anytime, but on the weekends we usually have a manager on duty if you'd like to come by and take a look at the property.
I have a question.
Yes.
All right, if you, first of all, if you are on a lot of medications now, do you pay extra for them to administer it, or are you administering your own medications?
That is one thing that we differ from Alabama in the fact that we are licensed to administer medications. So we do charge, right now it's $65 a month for us to give you your pills. But all of our staff are trained medication assistance providers. They're med techs through the state of Georgia. So they are capable, say you forget to take that 6 a.m. thyroid medication, you know, and that's very important. So we can provide medication assistance. If the doctors say you're capable, you've been doing it, you can keep doing it. But should something change and you keep forgetting or not wanting to take a certain pill and it's causing you some issues, or say you have to check your blood pressure and if it's this, then we got to do this. So we have trained staff who can do that.
And at what point does it get to where a patient, or excuse me, a resident, I'm a nurse, a resident gets to the point to where they may not need the criteria for assisted living level of
In Georgia, the main thing we look for is ambulatory status, which means you can either walk or propel a wheelchair from point A to point B. So if you become non-ambulatory, what people usually call bedbound, then you would have to go to a skilled nursing facility. We are not staffed. You have to have a lot of staff to, if you're pushing people out on beds, for an evacuation. We have to be able to evacuate a building in less than 13 minutes. So one of the things we do, and we actually work with regional rehab, is keep our residents ambulatory. Trying to make sure that you're able to walk with an assistive device, a walker, a cane. If you are using a wheelchair, that you can make that wheelchair go, whether it's your feet or using your arms, that you can still help yourself get out of the building in case of a fire.
And what is that variance as far as the criteria between Alabama and Georgia?
Alabama has more stringent rules when it comes to especially forgetfulness. In Alabama, you have to be able to name your medications and what they're for and what time you take them. You also have to, your ambulatory status is more, they want you up and walking. They have a really strong nursing home lobby in Alabama. So, and Alabama has great nursing homes. They really do. When it comes to a nursing home, I always refer people back to Alabama if that's their need. But with assisted living, you get more independence. If a doctor has any diagnosis of short-term memory loss, confusion, dementia, that takes you out of assisted living in Alabama. Where in Georgia, you can have short-term memory loss, dementia, and still be able to go to assisted living. So that is a big difference. So, because there's a lot of people, especially, when you get to be 85 plus, memory loss is, you've got a 50-50 chance. You are going to forget things. That's just what happens. So, at least in Georgia, yeah, it's going to be 100% at 55 by the time we get there. So, but that's one of the things to think about when it comes to the law. I get quite a few residents from Alabama, because we're just over the bridge, because they want to go to assisted living, but they can't name their pills. And that's what really kicks them out of the system. I have to know that I take this pill at 9 a.m. and it's for my heart, and identify it and everything. So that's something that really would change some dynamics to think about coming across the bridge.
So I keep coming with these questions.
No, that's great.
Smoking and not smoking.
We do allow smoking outside. You can't smoke inside the property, of course, because of fire issues. We have a smoker's porch, actually. It's covered and has covered ashtrays out there. The thing with 5 Star and Morningside, we want to preserve your lifestyle. We don't want you to have to change who you are. We want to, it's considered person-centered care. We're about making this person the best they can be, and making sure that the person, I do a getting to know you questionnaire. What time do you like to go to bed? What time do you like to wake up in the morning? What are your favorite TV shows to watch? Because we don't want to interrupt. If you're a huge Braves fan and you need assistance getting in the bed, well, I want to wait till the game's over. Don't come trying to put me in bed. Don't tell me what to do. That's what we're looking for, is we don't want, I have some veterans. A couple of them are prisoners of war. You talk about not wanting to be told what to do. Don't tell me what I have to eat. Don't tell me what I have to do. So that's the other thing. When it comes to meals and menus, you have two separate menus, and we have what's called always available. If you don't like the pork chop and collard greens today, and I don't want the, what was the thing they had yesterday? The cube steak and mashed potatoes. I don't want either of those. You can always have salad, soups, sandwiches, Dessert, say I don't like the apple crisp. You can always have ice cream. You know, it's about changes. It's about being what you need us to be. So, yeah.
Got a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, how do you deal with that? Like, a person has a lot of money, and they have to pay for it.
We're private pay, so we don't put a lien on anybody's homes or anything like that. You know, what you pay is just like making an apartment payment, any kind of rent payment. So we don't try to access your properties or anything like that. As long as you can make your monthly rent payment, what you have is your business.
Okay, so you don't scrutinize that.
No, not at all. Yeah, that's one of the things I know that, especially when it comes to nursing homes and things like that, they try to attach to your assets. We don't do that. What we do is strictly private pay, like you're making a regular monthly rent payment.
What is your average
Rental, it starts at $3,100 a month, so about $100 a day. So, depending on your needs, we do a needs assessment, and one of the differences with Morningside is we have 4 levels of care. A lot of places you go may have 2, might have 3. Our goal is that you can stay and this is your home. Most of my openings are because someone expired, someone passed away. Most of my residents live there I have residents who have been there over 12 years. You know, the average length of stay in an assisted living is 18 months. My length of stay is almost 5 years. So, yeah. Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry, you said it starts at 3,100?
3,100. Mm-hmm. I have 3 different room styles.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. I have studio, 1 bedrooms, and 2 bedrooms. The 2 bedrooms, when they built our property 20 years ago, they weren't thinking of married couples that much. So I only have 2 of the 2 bedrooms. But the 1 bedroom will actually work for even married couples. But the 1 bedroom to me, and I have 28 of that size because that is our most popular, is a true apartment feel.
That's the 3,100, right?
That one is $3,350. It goes up by like $250 each apartment style. So the studio is like an efficiency, 1 open concept room. So, you know, but you can still set it up where you have a little living room area, and they all have private bathrooms. But the 1 bedroom, you have a living room, a separate bedroom with a door on it, a much larger private bath.
That covers utilities, meals,
Everything.
internet.
We don't have internet. You have to get your own internet. We have a hotspot that has the front section. We're supposed to be upgrading by the end of the year to get internet coverage throughout. So the only thing we don't pay for is telephone, and that's because most people have cell phones now.
But you do cover cable.
We do cover cable. We do. So everything is included. It's pretty easy. A lot of people like to equate it to cruise ship living. I've got snacks and food all the time, and everything's there. There's, you know, exercise class at 10 a.m. and there's bingo at 3, and there's a trip to the casino, and it's. I wish. Everything is completely handicap accessible too. Our showers are flat bottom. The risk of falls is biggest in your bathroom. So we have a call button on the wall, plus we have like the life alert where you can, if you need help with something, there's somebody there 24 hours a day who is trained medical staff who can come help you. Say you feel dizzy. Say you just feel funny. You know, you ever have where you just feel funny? I can't put my finger on it, but somebody can come in and check your vital signs and make sure you're okay and be able to make an assessment of, do you need to go to the hospital? Can we monitor you? So those are the things to look at. Yes?
Is there any type of financial assistance?
Other than the VA, not really. There are a couple of loan programs and things like that are available, but the Veterans Administration is probably the biggest advocate for assisted living when it comes to financial assistance.
What is the least amount the VA have you seen? You said up to $2,000. What's the lesser amount?
If you are what they look for with the VA is they want 2 activities of daily living that you need help with. One of them can be medication assistance,
Right.
and then say they want a true activity of daily living. They want, showering assistance or something that you need some standby. Is if you don't have those 2, the least I have seen is $650. Because they're saying, well, you don't really need help. You could be at home. So the maximum is right at $2,100.
And describe a resident that maybe gets that amount?
And the maximum is only having 2 ADLs. You just have to have those minimum 2 ADLs. Yep. So it's financially driven though. If you do have a lot of money in savings, liquid assets, then they're not going to give you the financial assistance. Right. So it is financially motivated of whether you need that money to pay for assisted living. Because what they're thinking is a lot of our veterans and their spouses are living on fixed incomes, and that extra money can help them pay for it. Any other questions? Yes?
Did you already say what age?
There is no age limit. My youngest resident, at one time I had 35-year-old, up to 103. So right now my youngest resident is 48 and my oldest is 100. So yeah, I love having those 100th birthdays. So those are always fun. I have a 99-year-old right now who is really looking for next May. So it is. And the thing is like I've talked with some of the families, I don't think in a different situation we would have met those 100 birthdays. If they would have stayed home a little longer, we probably would not have made it to those extra years. And they've been great quality years. I mean, my 99-year-old went to Wetumpka with us last time. So, it is one of those things that it just keeps us going and keeps us thriving. That's one of the things they used to say is failure to thrive. A lot of times I get a lot of residents they were living at home or they've gone to a nursing facility for rehab and weakness and those types of things. And failure to thrive is just, I'm not hungry, I don't want to. You just kind of give up. You got to have something to live for. I mean, if you think about it, what motivates us? Being around people. Being around people makes us keep going. Got to have something to look forward to. So if we have that in your daily life, you're going to live longer. You're going to live happier, healthier. And that's just our job to make sure that happens. Any other questions?
I can ask you questions.
You can. I don't know how long we're supposed to talk. But I don't mind at all. So.
Okay, so I imagine it's ample parking. She's got 1 car, but
Mm-hmm.
I have 2.
Yeah, we have, most of my residents don't drive. I only have about 4 who are still driving. We have 42 spots for parking. Oh yeah, we have handicap parking right in the front row. We have a turnaround portico that's covered for drop off and pickup. So.
And you said you're at 98%?
I am. I have 1 room available right now. So.
So let's just say that I got the room.
Uh-huh.
Or not the room.
Those 35-year-olds if I move in, right?
So, I mean, today, how long would it take for me if all systems would go on a lot of the, how long would it take you to get from me?
The main thing is getting a doctor's appointment. You have to have a TB test, whether it be a chest x-ray or a TB skin test. That's one of those diseases, especially in the older population, that still is kind of hanging around. That's a state regulation that you have to be checked for tuberculosis. So that usually takes 2 days.
And like an apartment, is it a 1 year?
It's month to month. In the business we're in, we don't want to tie it. We do require a 30-day notice if you do decide that it's not for you. That doesn't usually happen. Most folks move in, they don't realize everything they've been missing. It is an acclimation period. If you've been living alone for 10 years and now you're living and people are talking to you, and you might be, so about a month to get used to living in. I always equate it to maybe going off to college or going to school. You got to get to know the people you're around. But being that we're only 42, we have a community that really looks out for each other. You know, when I have somebody at the rehab hospital, when is so-and-so coming home? Are they okay? Did you go by and see them today? And we've actually taken a group to go visit people in the rehab units because those are their friends and they want to go see them. So, you know, it's a very tight-knit community. Yes?
Well, with the monthly payments,
Mm-hmm.
are they locked in for any length of time?
Just 1 year.
1 year?
1 year.
Now, can you lock them a year at the time, or are you only able to lock for 1 year?
You're usually only able to lock for 1 year. When it comes close to the next year to re-up, we can usually discuss it with our corporate entity about, will this rate, because rates usually go up about 3%.
Per year?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember when I started, it was about $1,800 a month, but that was 18 years ago. So, yes. We do. We have 3 different types of exercise that we do. Most of them are, it is called People with Arthritis Can Exercise, PACE. It's meant for mobility, dexterity. You can do it chair or standing. Because we do have residents, like I said, I have residents who've been there 12 plus years. Some of them have graduated to wheelchairs and things like that, but we still want you to exercise. Keep as mobile as you can. So we have chair dancing on Mondays. We have our stretch and groove on Wednesday. And then Friday, we have a sermon from the Baptist church that comes at 11. So from 10:30 to 11, we do a meditation and relaxation stretching. So that is more where we try to do the aromatherapy and more of a relaxing kind of stretch, more Tai Chi-ish. We've been trying to learn Tai Chi. Yes. All of our activities are covered in our program. That is what Lifestyle 360 is about. Lifestyle 360 is making sure that there are things there for you to do when you want to do them.
Have you ever had a marriage?
I have not had a marriage. I have had a couple proposals, relationships there, yes. What's the funniest part is, most people, when they get to that age, don't want to mix their money. You know, I've got this check coming in. If we get married, no, I don't know about all that. So we do have very close friendships. We have had married couples that live there. We have do not disturb signs for their doors for their personal time to make sure that nobody's coming to pick up trash or anything like that. And so you have to maintain privacy. So we're knocking on doors and things like that to make sure that we have permission to enter. So we have we right now have a couple who girlfriend still lives at home. Boyfriend lives with us. So she takes him home every weekend with her and brings him back on Sunday night. So that way they still have their weekends together. So
I like to say, you know your craft.
I've been doing it a long time. Well, I always tell people, if you don't believe in what you do, you might as well find something else. You know, it's the reason I get up in the morning is because I know they depend on me. And when I hear I have a gentleman who is my honorary door greeter. He's the one who opens up the door and explains to everyone what the rules and regulations and what we do is. And when he told me yesterday, he said, "Melissa, you're doing a good job." I'm like, well, thank you. I have your approval, sir. So, but it's my passion. It always has been. So Any questions? Yes.
Back to government.
Yes.
It's based on two activities, ability.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And income.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't want you having, $500,000 in the bank and then you're asking the government for more money. So that's what they're looking for, is to make sure there is a true financial need. So, any other questions? You guys have been very good. Go ahead. One more.
Are you well versed with the VA system? As you're thinking?
I have all the documentation list of what you need to get together to present to them.
Well, the reason why I'm asking is my mother, her husband recently passed.
Mm-hmm.
He was a veteran.
Mm-hmm.
So would she qualify for the VA?
Yeah, she, as a widow. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, there are different levels. Like the veterans themselves usually get the top amount. Widows get the second amount. And then there is a third amount that is a little less. And I don't know how that works as far as, like, you could be married and divorced and marry someone else, and so there is a third amount available, but it is like I said, financially based and ADL based. So if you do need assistance with your medications, and maybe somebody just stand by for bathing because you've had some falls in the shower, well, there's your 2 ADLs right there. So.
Well, I guess I'll ask the last question. You said you had rights to your appointments, right?
Yeah, doctor's appointments. Mm-hmm.
How about leisure rides and what, like if you needed a ride to the mall or something? Like
We have, those are planned, those are scheduled. We do Tuesdays and Thursdays are our outings. I know today's Wednesday, right? Tomorrow is our lunch outing at Speakeasy and shopping at the Dollar General. Tuesday is Walmart. Tuesday is Walmart. The next Thursday will be another store. So, that way Walmart's definitely the biggest trip. Yes. So, and you also have a chaperone there. So if you need help with anything or going to find something that's on the other side of the store and things like that. So. We're good? Everybody's got all their questions answered? Like I said, if you have any questions or want to call and ask, come by and tour our community, come look and see what we do. It is very homey. It is, like I said, to me it's small. It's not one of these grandiose 3-story, we've got front porch with rocking chairs. So, yes.
I'm sorry.
No,
I just
you keep getting questions.
Thinking about my father in a nursing home. This is not a nursing home.
No.
It's her own apartment.
Yes.
And she's gonna have her own apartment.
Mhm.
So overnight guests like me coming from
Absolutely.
wherever, it's no problem.
No problem. Absolutely. I have several residents who have pull-out couches. So when their family from out of town comes, they stay with them. So that it is your apartment. Yep. Yes.
When you're there, if it's determined that you need nursing home care,
Mm-hmm.
then do you?
Help find placement?
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. By law, we are required. We can't just evict somebody. We have to, should there come a time where you do need nursing home care, usually we try to get other services involved, get home health involved, get hospice services involved, to be able to keep you in your apartment, because it definitely is, when you have your furniture and your belongings, it's a lot different than when you go to a nursing facility and it's kind of barren sometimes. So we do, if the time comes, we do help you find placement to the one that you choose,
One other question. My husband and I took out long-term care
Mhm.
years ago.
You're smart.
Well, I'm sure.
Oh, yes.
You have to have 2 disabilities to
The-
qualify.
Those are your 2 ADLs.
Somebody come in and sit with you while you take a shower.
Yep.
Can you do that at your place?
Yes, I have right now about 7 residents who have long-term care policies.
Okay, okay.
And a lot of, if you pick the right policy, Woo! It will pay almost 100% of your stay.
I have that. My son sells it, and
Yes.
they stopped offering those.
Yes.
And he said, "Mom, I know you're young.
Get
We're
it.
gonna go ahead and get this
Yes.
for you and Dad." So I have it. So.
Yeah, I have most of, and those policies are almost gone. Yeah, they don't sell the ones that pay $100+ a day anymore. Now you're lucky to get $50 a day, but still $50 a day, and when it's $100 a day, it can be worth it. But long-term care insurance, usually the best time to get it is when you're around 50. Because your premiums are lower. But yeah, I have quite a few residents now who have long-term care policies, and we file your paperwork for you. There's a claim form just like any other insurance. We fax it over to them, and then you get a check.
So in other words, you can have long-term care in your facility?
Yes, yes. We're considered, a long-term care community, senior communities. A lot of people are under the misconception, and there are older policies that say nursing home policies. I don't know why somebody would buy a nursing home policy. But when it comes to those, a lot of times if it is an older policy, you can kind of contest that, and if it was brought out before assisted livings existed.
Can I ask you a question? If someone has a long-term care insurance and policies, and they've been trying to stay in their home, and they've used it to pay private duty, and now they can no longer stay in their home. Have you seen a problem with them transitioning into, it just automatically transitions to pay for that?
Yeah,
instead of
it
a
has,
private duty person?
and you actually get paid more than the private duty a lot of times. I think the dividend, the payout for private duty, a lot of times is less than the payout for what they call a facility or a community. I have had 3 within the past year who did have private caregivers in the home, and they invoked their policy to help pay for those, and then transitioned to us, and are still getting their benefit and actually getting a little more now.
So that will, if you're at home, that will pay?
Sometimes. It depends on your policy. Yeah, so it depends on the policy.
I know mine does, so.
Yeah, and like I said, the payout is what you really have to look at, is how much does it pay for this versus this. So, and the funny thing is a lot of people say, oh, well, I want to stay in my house and have a private caregiver. Okay, how much do you have in common with that 23-year-old?
Right.
Just saying.
You need someone to trust to come in your home.
Exactly. So that's the thing about having regulations and having a community is everybody has background checks. Everybody has been checked out by the state, is on a state registry. All of these people are screened.
Even that,
Well, true, but
I've seen that.
but when it comes to people coming into your home, I mean, we read the newspaper.
Money,
Yeah,
walls, and
there's terrible things that happen.
down to the science.
Yeah, and like I said, some of my people who have come from home and had private caregivers, they'll say, well, all she does is play on her phone all day. Well, no, I don't want to sit there with I don't want to sit there with somebody who's not entertaining me. I'm paying you. Do something, sing, dance, do something. Like then, why do I want to pay somebody $15, $16 an hour?
Right.
That the only time I need them is when I take a shower or to make me some lunch, and the rest of the time they're just sitting there.
What age? Day and night.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. You've got staff 24 hours a day with us. So.
Okay, I hate giving out secondhand information.
No,
Are
no
you
problem.
gonna have another something like this? I'll drag my mother out to one of your
I don't have one planned.
You know what patent is, and sell it to all the agents.
Well, I'll bring it to you at your place of business.
Yeah, in fact, I've probably got some brochures in my car. I can get you one. So, any other questions?
Is the websites?
Yes, there is. You would just go to www.morningsideofcolumbus.com. And there's actually pictures of the rooms. There's pictures of the building. You've got a virtual tour on there. So, all right.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
So much
Well,
for being
thank
with
you so
us.
much. I appreciate it.
Great questions. So hopefully this will help you guys.
I appreciate it.
So Melissa did a great job informing us about Morningside Assisted Living, and there's also some other really great facilities here in the area. If this is something that you are thinking about and considering, please give them a call and find out more information about it. One of the things I was most interested in was what Melissa said about veterans benefits. So if you're interested in that, please give her a call, and I'm sure she'll be able to give you more information about that. So we want to thank you for joining us today on Senior Moments, and don't forget, we love you heart and soul. We'll see you next time.